few things we look for when our hitters are getting in the box, getting ready to swing, going through their swing are these. First, we talk about their stance. With stance, we don't require them to do a whole lot. We give them the freedom to find what's comfortable for them and what puts them in the best chance for success. The one thing that we do require with their stance is what we call grinding in. And we talk about grinding in with our back foot. When they step in the box, we want to make sure that our back foot is stable and strong. That provides a good foundation for everything else to work. When we put our foot in the box and we grind in, we want to avoid our foot being opened up or our toe being outside of our heel. We want our hitters to be either neutral or have our toe slightly inside heel. Nothing extreme, but those are the two positions that we accept for our hitters. Again, we want them to feel comfortable and want them to feel like they have the best chance for success. Second thing, after their stance, they're going to get into their load, or what we call the gather. When we gather, we want to get all our energy into our back hip. We start this process on the pitcher's handbrake. Unless we change our timing based on what the pitcher's doing, we're going to start on the handbrake every time. So as our hitters go to gather, they'll be in their stance, and their first move is with their lower half getting in to the back hip. When we load back, we don't want to get outside of our base, meaning our shoulders or our head don't ever need to get outside of our back hip. We want to load against a good backside as we start to come forward. After the gather, we get into the most important part of hitting, in our opinion, and this is our hitting position, or our stride to balance. After we gather and they move forward to the pitcher, they need to be in a strong balanced position. This is the last position they're going to be in before they start their swing and the barrel enters the hitting zone. A few things we look for in our hitting position are these. One, we want to land 50'd up, which means I have 50% of my weight here and 50% of my weight on my back side. When I land front foot forward, I don't want to land on my toe. I want to get my whole foot in the ground, and I want to do that softly. Once I come forward and my front foot hits down, my head and my hips no longer move forward. They stay where they're at. I want to keep my head quiet, and all my hips are doing are rotating around my spine. When my front foot lands, we tell our hitters to be around 45 degrees. We don't want them completely closed off or completely opened up, but we allow them some freedom when they do land with that front foot. So 50'd up, with our front foot around 45 degrees, our heads and our hips are not moving forward after our front foot hits the ground. Second part of being 50'd up is we want to have a little bit of our chest tilted over the plate. We don't want our hitters to hit standing straight up because this will cause their bat to come in and across the zone. We want them to have some tilt with their chest that will allow their bat to get on plane early and stay through the hitting zone for a long time. On the back side of our hitting position, we want our hands to have our knob to the catcher, and we want our hands to be behind our back knee, right in line with my back foot. If my hands are inside of my shoulder, that means that we didn't get separated from them with my front side. If they're too far back, that probably means we're arm barring or doing some other things. And if our hands are too far back, that causes problems as we go into the hitting zone. So far we've talked about stance. We want to make sure we're grinded in. We talk about gathering into our back hip, and we talk about getting into our hitting position with those three keys. From the hitting position, we're going to go into contact. When we make contact, we want to maintain connection high and tight. What we mean by high and tight is I want to keep my barrel high as I attack the baseball. I want to think directly to the baseball, and I want to make sure my barrel is high in the zone. I don't want to lose my barrel back here and have it dumped and have it come up through the hitting zone. When we say tight, we're talking about being tight to our body. If my hands get away from my body, that's going to cause me to cast out, and it's going to cause problems as I go into contact. So when we say high and tight, we keep it high and tight with our connection. We go directly to the baseball. Once I get to the baseball, I want to make contact out in front of my front foot. When I do that, I want to attack the 1-2 of the baseball, staying inside the baseball regardless if it's in, middle, or away, and I want to make contact out in front of my eyes. My head and my body should always be behind contact. Once I finish my swing, the only thing we ask our guys to be able to do is be able to hold their finish. We believe that if they can hold their finish, that means that they have good direction to the baseball and through the baseball. Putting all this together, we think if we get into our good hitting position on time and we can finish in a good spot, everything in the middle is going to take care of itself.